Welcome back to Silicon Valley Education News. I'm Kristen Fairchilds, joined by Brian Kracker.
Hello.
There's been some criticism about technology and use of it by teenagers, that it has made teenagers more reclusive, less likely to socialize. Brian, we're joined by some guests today from Milpitas High School that are determined to make sure that verbal communication is part of their present and their future.
It's wonderful. So welcome, Samik, the president of Toastmasters of Milpitas High School. You have the vice president, Diangleo, and the secretary, Justin. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So my first question is, how did you start beginning the Toastmasters of Milpitas High School? Where did that come from? Why did you want to start that?
So my dad and I in August, we went to a Toastmasters meeting at the Milpitas Library. And I really liked it. It was pretty fun. So I said a speech for 2 minutes about literally a topic that they gave me a couple seconds before. And it was pretty funny, and it was fun to do it. And so I was like, hey, this is actually beneficial to students because they can learn how to talk and become better speakers. So I started the club, and we're beginning in January.
So you're mentoring other students in communication and public speaking?
Not exactly. We're being mentored. So there's an esteemed Toastmaster coming in every session that we have, and then she's going to be giving feedback to us while we speak. So we're also learning.
The three of you are sophomores, and I believe belong to other clubs as well. Why do you think the Milpitas student body would benefit from having a Toastmasters club, Diangleo?
Well, it's always good to have good speaking skills in your future, whatever you're going to go into, say, a technical field or something. Once you have a good speaking, once you start speaking very fluently, you could advance more fast than other people. Say someone had engineering skills, but they didn't have good speaking skills. But the other person had good engineering skills, and they had good speaking skills. That person would more likely advance further and faster than the person that has just speaking.
So Justin, did you have a communications background or an interest in public speaking before you started Toastmasters?
Not actually, because I'm kind of like afraid to speak in front of large crowds, and I'm uncomfortable speaking in front of people. So, and then my friend Samik told me to help him make this Toastmasters club, and then I thought it was like a really great idea to learn speaking, because I need to improve on speaking myself. And also my dad, like he's like the president of his company, I guess, and then like most of the time he's just out in meetings just speaking, and he's not really doing the technical work, I guess.
How are you planning on recruiting members or getting the word out that this club is now going to be an option for Milpitas High students? Samik?
So every year we have a biannual clog rush, which is basically like clubs and organizations get to showcase what they do and get people to sign up in school. So our clog rush is January 5th and 6th, and we are planning to make a couple posters and show students why our club matters to the student body, and the reason it matters is because it teaches you how to communicate well.
So Diangleo, how many members are currently in Toastmasters organization?
Well, right now we don't have any, but we're planning to recruit more people through Clog Rush, as Samik said. We're planning not to have too much people, because that would be overwhelming. So we probably have around maybe 20 or less.
Yeah.
Justin, there's such a great history to the Toastmasters and why it was created to help business professionals learn how to run meetings and give lectures and speeches. Had you heard of Toastmasters before Samik brought it up? And even if someone is going to go into perhaps an engineering field, or maybe even a writer, someone who works mostly by themselves, perhaps graphic design or software design, why would someone who wants to have that kind of future, why do you think that they would benefit from learning to speak well?
Well, first of all, when you learn how to speak well, you are able to like sell your ideas to other people and convince other people that like your idea is good, and yeah.
And about, had you heard of Toastmasters? Did you even know that such a group even existed?
Before, I haven't even heard about Toastmasters until Samik, and then I told my parents that I was gonna help my friend make this club, and then my dad didn't know about it, but my mom somehow knew about it, which was interesting.
Yeah.
So Samik, now with Toastmasters, you're doing a lot of public speaking. Do you have an interest in going into any kind of politics, or what do you plan to do after high school?
After high school, I'm planning to go to college, but I made some jokes with my parents, so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be like Mark Zuckerberg and drop out. I'm gonna be like Bill Gates and drop out, but it's not, you know, unless I get a good idea that's feasible and I actually get interest in it. So I'm thinking if there's like maybe a $5 million valuation, something like that, or even, I don't know, but I'll see when I get there. But I'll probably I'm for sure going to college.
Find something that you're passionate about and go with that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty passionate about computer science, and yeah, so I'm thinking of going into that field.
You're on your way.
Would any of the three of you describe yourself as, especially when you were much younger, were you chatty little kids, or were you more on the shy or quiet side? And how has that kind of transitioned you into the high school students you are now? Anyone the big talk? Who's the big talker out of the three?
Okay, well, for me, in elementary school, I'm a shy person. I still kind of am, but I was known as a troublemaker per se back in elementary school. But in middle school, I matured more, and then once I got into high school, I got into ASB and ROTC and everything, and I am more mature than I was in elementary school.
For me, I guess you would have to ask my parents how talkative I was. I'm pretty sure I was talkative. Especially in elementary school, I probably kept on talking. Maybe some of my peers must have thought I'm a teacher's pet, to be frank and candid. Middle school, probably also a teacher's pet, and then high school, definitely.
And Justin?
For me, I'm probably shy since elementary school to still now. Like, remember in elementary school, the teacher would put the talkative person next to me, and then I would make them like talk less because I didn't talk much.
So with the Toastmasters, you're speaking, and I was wondering, do you have any interest in debate, like going to debate club, or any kind of like competition?
Yeah, so I do debate, speech and debate at school. The advisor, Mr. Schletzbaum, he's really, really into debate, and he's helps us a lot. And so last year I was doing policy debate. As my first year, I did novice, and it went pretty well. I broke or got into the octafinals in a couple of rounds, or tournaments, sorry. This year I'm doing mainly speech, so it's called Extemp Nationals and stuff like that. So basically I have 30 minutes to prepare a topic, usually about politics. That's what the session I'm doing. And then you have to present a 7-minute speech.
Going back to what you see this club being for the student body, what can they expect when they come to a meeting? I think Toastmasters probably has a schedule laid out of what actually happens. Diangleo, what will they expect?
Well, right now, we don't have an official, because we're not going to actually start until January. But as of right now, once we have people to actually help improve their speech, we're planning on really just improving their speech.
Well,
improve off of that.
I think we have like 30 to 40 minutes. They're going to be presenting impromptu speech. So there's a theme, maybe like back to school, and then you give them a topic based on what you come up. So there's like a topic master, stuff like that. And you give them a topic, and then right on the spot, they have to start speaking and make it a nice speech. And then after that's over, after every person has spoken, then a couple, 2 or 3 people get up and prepare or present their prepared speeches.
So do you have a website or any kind of Facebook page or anything that?
No, we don't.
No,
we haven't
not yet.
done that, no.
Are you working on that?
No, I don't think we're probably going to do that.
Okay.
'Cause
I would think for a lot of people that what you just drew up there, that given a topic and having to speak on it might be terrifying. Having an advisor there from the Toastmasters, I'm guessing they'll address how to be comfortable in those scenarios and maybe what sort of techniques to avoid stage fright, I guess. Is that true, Justin?
Yeah, during our meetings, we'd have this advisor from official advisor from the Toastmasters, and every time a member would finish their speech, they would give feedback and tell them what they could do better on.
So it's going to be a positive experience for your fellow students then.
yeah, that's what we aim towards.
That's great.
So with the Toastmasters, there's a lot of speaking. So do you have any suggestions as far as what attributes you need or kind of like qualities are good for a good public speaker? How can I say?
You first have to be confident in what you're saying. Even if you talk about the randomest topic and you don't know anything about it, if you're confident about it, it'll make you seem a little bit more knowledgeable, except there's one exception. If there's somebody who knows about the topic you're talking about, and you start talking about the randomest thing, and the person knows what you're talking about, that's scary because he's probably going to think, oh, he's an idiot. So you have to have confidence, but you have to know your audience so you don't screw up.
Why should your fellow students join your club?
Well, as I had said earlier when you had asked me a question, it's to improve their speaking skills. We try to recruit some of the that have the basics of speaking, and we try to improve of it based on like their basics and stuff, and we try to have them excel beyond their norm.
And to add on to that, I read somewhere that I believe J.P. Morgan said this before. Getting up the corporate ladder is 85% communication and 15% technical skill. So if you're, say, applying to Google and you have 1,000 other applicants for that same position, Google is going to accept you based on your engineering or technical skills. So if, let's say, they hire you another person, you're a better speaker than that other person. You know how to lead better than that other person. So once you get inside, let's say, the Google circle, that means, well, if you're a better speaker, you're going to get up the corporate ladder faster because of the rule identified by J.P. Morgan.
Thank you. This is, I appreciate Justin, Samik, and Diangleo being here, who are part of the Toastmasters of Milpitas High School. And this is my co-host, Kristen Fairchilds, and I'm Brian Kracker. And this has been Ed News, and thank you for tuning in.